Yo, 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 what's up? This is Jeremy from J's Innovation Garage in the Peach capital of the state, baby. All right, boys and girls. Hope everybody's doing good. Today is July 5th, and it's hot. Mm, my thermometer over there in the shade said 110. 110. It's hot. So, today's gonna be a little different. I used to do a lot of tech videos on my. There's a lot of tech videos on my Facebook page, a lot, and I wish I could get them over to YouTube, but I've been doing a lot of research and a lot of you could transfer them over. If anybody knows how to transfer them over, let me know because I have a wad. So this little section is going to be on if you want to build your own fuel cell, okay? And actually, this is going to apply to a lot of stuff, all right? A lot of stuff. So I'm going to try to keep this just as short as possible. So you guys, so get you a pencil, piece of paper, and let's do this together, all right? So it's a lot of people talk about math. They get kind of, math, reading a tape measure, doing fractions, doing decimals. People are like, oh, I don't like math. Well, it's really not that. Once you figure out the concept, it's really not that difficult. I know some people are strong in reading and English and not in math, and Johnny's good at crowing all the time. You know what I mean? So it's really, 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 really simple. So the formula to figure out volume of a cube is length times width times depth. Okay? So if you know your length and you know your width and you know your depth, you can figure out how many gallons is in that section. Okay? All right, if you only know two of them, let's say if you know your length and your depth and you're trying, or your length and your width and you don't know the depth, that's a whole different thing. I can show you how to figure that out. But if you just want to play with numbers, you can figure out what you want to do. For example, let's say I need a 6-gallon fuel cell, right? So if I want a 6-gallon fuel cell and I have a space to put that fuel cell in, and I only have a section that's, let's say, 14 inches wide by 12 inches wide, but I got to figure out my depth, right? So you can play with the numbers. You can just do 14 times 12, and then let's just say 8. Say 14 times 12 times 8, and then you get a number, and that number is 1,344, which that number is cubic inches, okay? All right, you take that number and you divide it by 231, all right? And that comes up to be 5.81 gallons, okay? Guy sent me a message the other day and he said he had a fuel cell that he wanted to know if I'd be interested in buying it. And I said, what you got? And he's like, this is what I got. And it was a pretty nice fuel cell. But then I said, well, how many gallons is it? He said, I have no idea. It was in the truck when I got it. It was aluminum. It was nice, but it was used. And I said, well, just measure it, length times width times depth. And he measured it for me and he texted back to me. And then I texted him, I said, that's about a 14 and a half gallon fuel cell. He's like, man, it can't be. I was like, that's what it is. So he took 2 5-gallon buckets of water, poured it into it, and then 4 1-gallon milk jugs and about filled it up. And he texted me back and he said, man, I never believed it. I said, it's just the numbers. So that can work in a lot of different things, okay? Let's say that you want to figure out how much water is running off your roof line, right? How much water is going out of your gutter, right? So let's just say that your roof line, your gutter facing, right, is 10 foot, right? And then from the gutter to the eave or to the cap of your roof is 10 foot, all right? And let's just say it rains 1 inch of rain. So you go, so do it in inches. So 120 times 120 times 1 is 14,400 cubic inches, right? All right, or cubic inch square, or CU3, okay? So then divide that number by 231, and guess what? You get roughly 62 gallons of water coming off your roof line. That will fill up one 55-gallon barrel and have some extra. There's water for your garden, for your flowers, whatever. All right, now let's just say this. Let's say that your roof line is 16 foot long, 14 foot high, and it rains 1 inch of rain, right? That comes up to, so you got to turn 16 foot into inches. That's 192 inches, right? And 14 foot is 168 inches. So that's 192 times 168. That comes up to be 32,256, right? So you divide that by 231, and that comes up to be 139 gallons worth of water that run off your roof line. And the reason why I'm telling you that is because my next little problem that I have. So this time last year, I dug the foundation out, laid the concrete, laid the block, and laid the brick. Filled in the block with concrete. And I asked the guy that was here helping me do the block, I'm very fortunate to be exposed to a lot of different stuff, like building my shop, building these trusses. I designed this truss system that you see above me. Pretty much everything that you see here, I designed it. I came up with it, and probably about 85% of it I done by myself, and then I had some help, paid for some help, whatever. So I've been very fortunate to be around people at a young age, and try to absorb as much as I can in everything: plumbing, electrical, welding. I've been welding for 30 some years. I mean, teaching at the college. I mean, we won't get into all that. I mean, carpenter work. Now, my brother Green Bean, he was an amazing carpenter. That's what he did every day. And me and him built a lot of stuff. He's passed a few years back. So, at a young age of 48. So, so here's the next thing. So when I built the garage, this other garage I'm about to go show you, I knew that the water was going to run off the roof line, and I had already prepared for that, but I wasn't prepared for it to leak through the block and flood out the garage over time, seeping through. Well, come to find out that I was running on bad information. I was told that if you filled the block up with concrete, it made it solid and it wouldn't absorb. That is incorrect. So come to find out, the block, the water would get on the west side. I'm going to show you. The water would get on the west side. It would set in the dirt. It would seep down. It would set on the block, and it would weep through, and then therefore it would slowly weep through the garage. Therefore, since it weeped through, it would flood the garage out, and it would be like whatever it rained, it would be in there over time, and it would just stay damp. So can't have that, because you can't spray in insulation. You can't put electrical. You can't put any kind of sheetrock. You can't close it in. You can't park a vehicle in there, because it's like shutting it up in a box, and it'll be moisture, and moisture attacks everything, and it just craziness, right? So I said, I got to fix that. Well, it hadn't rained in like 7 weeks here in North Carolina, where I live at, and it's been 100 and some degrees. So I got a buddy to come over with his equipment. He has all kinds of skid steers. He does, if you need anything done, he can do it. So he came over with his Mini X. We dug the dirt out. I cleaned the block. Once I cleaned the block, then I went to, again, I'm going to show you. I went to Walmart and I figured it up. It's 3/4 of block, and it's 16 foot wide. So it come up to be a little bit more than 37 square. 1 quart of Flex Seal covers 37.5 square. So I bought 2 quarts and 2 rattle cans. And the reason why I bought the rattle cans is because I was going to spray the bottom side of the concrete on that side, and I was going to spray the seams after I done it really, really good, and then let it dry. And then I'm going to fill in the hole with gravel, and I'm going to put French drains in there, and then I'm not going to put no dirt in there. I'm going to fill it all in with gravel or aggregate, whatever you want to call it. And then I'm going to put plastic over top of it like it was, and then I'm going to put my decorative rock back. So with all that being said, it's 9 minutes. So I got all that done. 1 quart of black Flex Seal, like you see on TV, was $37 at Walmart. So I bought 2 quarts. So just say that's $40. That's $80. And I bought 2 rattle cans. That was $18 a can. So that's no, told you wrong. That was $16 a can. So we got $32. So that was over almost 100. And then I bought a little small container with a nap roller. That was like $6. So I got it all done with 1 quart. And then I took the rattle can, put it on the shaker. I shaked it for 10 minutes, got it good and shaken up. And I went around and I saturated the seams, the mortar seams, and the bottom of the concrete. I mean, I saturated. Now the concrete has 16 mils of poly, and then we poured the concrete. So that's done. So with all that done, then I got to take back the extra quart, got my money back, and I took back the other can of rattle can. I got my money back, and then I went over there and I got a few things and made some taco soup. And you're like, Jay, it's 110 degrees and you make taco soup. Yeah, because you can make taco soup in the air, what in the world is that thing called? Lord have mercy. I got a Joe Biden moment. Not a pressure pot. Not a crock pot. Anyways, enough of it. I'll think of it here in a second. Quick, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what it is. I can't even think. Oh my goodness. Anyways, enough of that. I'm gonna kill the camera. I'm gonna walk up here. All right, boys and girls, here we go. Let's take a little walk. Yeah, me barefooted. I'm grounded. All right, so here's the garage. So here's the garage. So here's the problem. So here's what I have. I'm gonna close all this in, put walls, make it look like an old country store in here. But this wall here would seep water, right? And it would seep water because it's basically a sponge, just like body filler. Body filler is a sponge. It will suck up anything if you put on top of it, right? So it would seep through and then water would get on the floor and then I'd have to squeegee it out. All right, now you're probably asking, why in the world did you build it like this? So from that corner to that corner is 16 foot on the inside. From that corner to the top of the block is 32-inch stem wall. And then from that corner to that corner is 12 foot. And the reason why I built it like this is a couple of reasons. One, I didn't want to get into my driveway. 2, I wanted it deep. And the reason why I wanted it deep, because this is my Trailblazer SS right here. This is a functional ram air hood. This is a true LS2 all aluminum. They didn't make many of them. So basically, before I paint the floor and do everything and seal everything, I had to get the water issue done. So once that's done, then I have a 4-post lift, drive-on lift, where I'm going to drive the SS up on the lift, put it up in the ceiling, and then take the LTZ and stick it underneath it. So that is why it's built this way. And I'm going to put, I'm going to close all this in, put a ceiling, put a mini split, put power in here. I have the kit that goes on the garage door, so all that is automated. But enough of that. Let's go over here and I'll show you what I did. So, that big eye in the sky. So here's the ditch. I just dug this out and I see it's brick all the way to the concrete, right? To the pad until you get over here. Jay, them rocks don't hurt your feet. Nope, sure don't. All right, so check this out. So this is what I did. I dug down. Cody come over and we dug this down and then I sealed the block. So all this is sealed. So the problem was the water was running off of this and I was getting, with 1 inch of rain, I was getting right at 100 gallons of water hitting right here. And even though this had poly down, the water would sit here and it would seep down. As for your seep down, it would seep through the block, go into the shop or garage. So now what I'm going to do is This is that Flex Seal, and it's gooey. I was going to show you. Right here it is. Look. So this is what I put it on. Look here. Check this out. Let's see if I can get this stuff. Look. It's pretty. I put 2 coats on it. Well, you know, pretty thick. But look at that. I mean, that's pretty thick meal build. I mean, and it's dry, but I'm pretty impressed with it. So that's sealed. And like I said, I'm gonna get some rock, some gravel, some aggregate. I'm gonna put gravel down, and then I'm gonna put some French drains in, and I'm gonna run them all the way down to there where it tapers out. And I'm gonna fill this all in with gravel and put plastic back over it, and then get the other pallet of river rock and do it all back. And then I'm also gonna fill this in with gravel as well. I'm gonna fill all this in with gravel, and then I'm gonna put dirt over top of it. Now, eventually, I'm gonna come off the edge of this now to the top of that red brick or that black block right there. I'm gonna build a flower bed of some sort, but whatever it is, it's gonna have to handle that big eye in the sky, because that big eye in the sky comes over that tree line, and this is all in 100% sunshine all day, all day, all day, all day. So maybe that'll help somebody on sealing stuff. Also, maybe that'll help somebody filling up if you want to build you a fuel cell for your rat rod, your vehicle, or if you're trying to figure out how big a fuel cell you can put in your project, if you got the length and the width. Ooh, excuse me, let me get out of that sun. If you got the length and the width, then you can figure out how much fuel cell that you need. If you can get somewhere around 15, 20 gallon fuel cell, I think you're pretty good, because my 86 R10, it has like I think it's a 13 gallon. I think if you pack it, I think it's like technically a 15 gallon tank, but it holds like 14 and some change. My 2015 Silverado, it has a 20 gallon tank. So, and this tank right here, this tank here on this truck, this Boyd tank, it's a 20 gallon tank. But you notice it's deeper here on the front than it is on the back. And that's because it's tapered. So if it was straight all the way out, then, you know, if you pulled in somewhere and you pulled up, it would scrape. So that's why they're tapered. And that's pretty cool right there. That's the guy that built it, and then he marked it right there. So I hope that helps somebody out. And I didn't even notice the cats right there. But again, I hope that helps somebody out. I really appreciate you. I know this is a long video, but maybe somebody was on the fence about Flex Seal. You know, you see the commercial on TV. So I tried it, and it seems like it does really, really well. Time will tell when I put the gravel in, and since the block's dry now, I can go ahead and pull the SS out and go ahead and tape up the floor, and go ahead and seal the concrete on the inside, or excuse me, seal the block on the inside. I'm going to do it in white, but I'm going to probably do it in something a little different. I might use the same stuff. Depends on what color I'm going to paint the floor, because I'm going to paint the floor and throw those little chips and stuff in there. But anyway, that's for something else. Next week, stay tuned, because I just got an email from Extensive Texas Metal. They just emailed me and told me that the rest of the rear suspension stuff for the 86 will be shipped out on Monday. So next weekend, probably start tackling doing the air ride system on the 86. And next week, we're supposed to get some cooler temperature around the 80s. And that'll be great, because maybe I can get this Mustang in the booth and get it going. Remember I said, boys and girls, I appreciate every single one of you. Don't worry about the man up the road or down the road. Sweep off your own front porch while sweeping off anybody else's. Put God first, at loose and drag. Peace, up, chicken grease. I'm out.